Hello and welcome to part 2 of Brett M. Frager's video series on how to animate 3D text in Animator. This tutorial will consider that the viewer already knows how to create 3D text. Brett M. Frager claims no ownership over Animator Cam Studio, Microsoft Movie Maker, Microsoft Text-to-Speech, CFS Technologies' Speakonia programs, or any of their components. This video is made only to educate viewers on how they can animate their own created 3D text in Animator. This video was made only on an educational and fun intention. Now let's continue. We are now ready to move our camera down in the Y direction. To do this we will need to select our X-axis tab and select the Y-axis. Choosing this tab will work just like the X tab, but it will only let us move, rotate, or size the camera in the Y-axis. We want to move the camera down or up until our 3D text is in the center of the little green camera box. With the 3D text in the center of the little green camera box, you will notice that the lighter side of the camera is face at a downward angle towards the text. In order to get the camera to face directly at the 3D text, we are going to need to rotate the camera up in the Y-axis until the lighter side of the camera is facing directly toward us. Once rotated in this position, the camera will look like a blue square box. So now go back to your Rotate tool in the Object Edit mode and select it. Remember to only have the Y-axis selected. Now since you have rotated the camera up, your 3D text is no longer in the center of the little green camera box. Go back to the Move tool in Object Edit mode and move your camera down or up until the 3D text is back in the center of the little green box. Let's preview our text with the new camera setup. Go up to the View module and select the camera mode. If the steps were done correctly, your 3D text should now be looking directly at us. It should also not look 3D but more of a 2D image. Our camera and 3D text are all ready to animate. The first thing you need to know about Animator's animation ways is that, when rotating 3D text, Animator by default has the word rotate by the second or third letter depending on how long your word is. This will not affect the word or rotation. The only reason why this is mentioned is because after you set the keyframes and animated your 3D text, you may need to change your camera positions in order to have it fit in the little green camera box. If this happens to you later, just go back to the top View module and then into Front mode and refix your camera. Now let's explain the timeline. A timeline is a time frame given for us to animate our 3D objects or text in Animator. Animator's default timeline length is 3 seconds. It can be located at the bottom of the screen when in scene mode. You should notice a light, transparent black or white box on the left side of the 0 indicator on the left side of the timeline and to the right of the 0. If the box is not there, click on the spot of the timeline with your cursor or move the transparent box with your left and right keys. On your keyboard you will also notice the little lines that are marks in between each second. These lines are called frames. There are 24 or 25 frames in 1 second. Animator uses 24 frames per second. This will not affect any output on the animation. If your project requires animated text for over 3 seconds, then you will have to change the time length of the timeline. To do this, double-click on the word Scene 1 to the left of the 0 marker on the timeline. You should now have a box pop up called Scene Editor. This box will have the functions of name and frames. Under the frames function, there will be the length, and current function's name allows you to be able to name the scene. This is handy if you had multiple 3D texts or objects. For this tutorial you do not have to name your scene, but you can if you want. I am going to name my scene the same as my 3D text. So the title of my scene is going to be French. For the timeline I am going to use 7 seconds. The way to figure out the number that should go in the length box is you must use the math equations t multiplied by 2 4 plus 3 equal f. In the equation, the t is for time. By time it means that time you want the timeline to end. F is the end length of your time. F could also be called the wanted time. So the answer to this equation is what should go in for the length. Let's use my time for an example. Since I want my timeline to end at 7, I am going to use the equation t multiplied by 2 4 plus 3 equal f. For the t I am going to put in my wanted time of 7. So now we have t multiplied by 2 4 plus 3 equal f. Now we are going to follow the math law and do the parenthesis first. Take our 24 and 3 and add them together. 2 4 plus 3 equals 27. So since our parentheses are gone, we can now multiply our 7 to the 27. This gives us an F total of 189. The current function under the frames category is where you put in the frame number where you want your new length number to start. If you just starting your project or new scene, you are going to want to make sure that the numbers in the current is 0. However, if you want to add more time to your timeline without having to redo all of your keyframes over, use the math equation to get your new length number, then open the scene editor box if it is not open. Put in your new length number, or before you open the scene editor box, put your transparent black or white box on the last frame of your timeline. Putting your box on the last frame will allow the scene editor box to open up with the last frame number in the function current. But this time make sure you put in the last keyframe number into the current function box if you did not put your timeline box marker on the last frame before opening the scene editor box. Animator will add your extra time to the timeline. This can only work if more time is wanted to be added. Shortening time will not work. With this knowledge of the scene editor, we can now click OK in the top right hand corner. Thank you for watching part 2 on how to animate 3D text in Animator. Please continue to part 3 of the tutorial.